Goku, you've grown so tall. Turtle Hermit said in surprise. Goku rubbed his head and grinned, yeah, I've grown tall without realizing it in the past 3 years. The first time I noticed it was when I saw Krillin getting shorter. Goku, I'm going to get angry if you mention that again. Ha ha ha. Hey, Bulma, your lips are so red, are you sick? That's lipstick. Bulma rolled her eyes and said helplessly. Sure enough, although he has grown tall, he has remained the same. He is still too simple. But. Bulma suddenly blinked as she realized that the grown-up Goku looks like that person. No, it should be said that he looks exactly the same. Brother Lin Chen, long time no see. At this time, Goku noticed Lin Chen and gave him a deep bow. Go, perform well. I will definitely defend my championship. Goku was full of confidence. Goku, I won't lose to you this time. Tien Shinhan said confidently while clenching his fists. Goku, everyone has received the same training, you had better be careful. Yamcha also said confidently. After greeting everyone, Goku and his group went to the registration office to sign up, and then prepare to participate in the preliminaries. Watching them leave, Turtle Hermit sighed with emotion, they have become so strong. My era is really coming to an end. Old man, your era is over, okay? My sister is already much more powerful than you. Bulma laughed. Turtle Hermit shrugged, Tights has Lin Chen's help, so how can it be compared? Huh, good that you know. On the other side, Tights looked at Goku and others receding back and asked Lin Chen, Goku should be winning the tournament again, right? It seems so. Lin Chen nodded. He had sensed Piccolo's aura just now. Unfortunately, his aura turned out to be far inferior to Goku, and was even inferior to Krillin and others. According to his guess, this may be because Krillin and the others went to Lookout to train much earlier. The training time of Goku and his group was much earlier than in the original work. On the contrary, the newly born Piccolo is the same as in the original work, still training by himself, so he has fallen behind in strength. Maybe it is precisely because of knowing the disparity between Piccolo and Goku that Kami did not participate in the tournament while possessing an ordinary person's body like in the original work. This time, whether it is Krillin or Tien Shinhan, or even Yamcha, they have the ability to defeat Piccolo. And unlike Goku, they won't be soft-hearted when facing Piccolo, so Kami doesn't need to personally take action. Aware of Kami's thoughts, Lin Chen couldn't help but feel sorry for Piccolo. Great Demon King Piccolo, who was rushing over with a delusion of sweeping through Earth, will suffer a crushing defeat this time too. It's just that without the fateful confrontation between Piccolo and Goku, I wonder what will be the highlight of this tournament. Should I register too? At this moment, Lin Chen suddenly heard a voice. Ding! Congratulations host for triggering the strongest choices. Choice 1, participate in the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament and win the championship. Reward, power level 100,000. Choice 2, let contestant Mark win the championship. Reward, Kami's magic. Choice 3, do nothing. Reward, 1 time point. Hearing the choices which he hadn't heard in a long time, Lin Chen couldn't help but be stunned for a moment. Although the rewards this time were not the best. But it's quite interesting. There have been a total of 3 tournaments. Lin Chen missed one and watched 2 of them. It is rare that the system has given choices for this tournament. I should just forget about the first choice as he is not so shameless to participate in the tournament and bully the weak for a mere 10,000 power level. Choice 3 is also very boring. It is rare to receive a selection mission and he has to do nothing. What is the difference between that and salted fish? But this choice 2 contestant Mark. Who is it? Just when Lin Chen was feeling puzzled, a hubbub suddenly erupted out from the crowd next to him. He saw a group of people in karate uniforms push the crowd away and walk towards the registration office. The one in the lead was a young man with long hair. Hey, we're here to register. The young man slammed the table and said. The person at the registration office immediately said, Okay, what's your name, mister? My name is Mark. The man who is going to become the world champion. Remember it. It's him. Knowing the target whom he has to help according to the system, Lin Chen took a look at his power level. Mark. Power level, 12. Cough, cough, cough. Lin Chen choked on his own saliva. And couldn't help but say in his heart, what the F***K. I just knew that the system didn't have any good intentions. After a long time, the reward that seemed to be the best was really the hardest. 12 power level. How can this person compete against Goku and others, whose power level has exceeded 500, for the championship? Fortunately, someone else might not be able to complete this mission, but Lin Chen can. Who made him have many tricks? System, I choose 2. Ding, the host has selected their choice, please complete the mission as soon as possible. Then, Lin Chen said to Tights and the others, you two and Bulma go to the venue, I'm going out for a while. Oh. Lin Chen, where are you going? Your Majesty, should I come with you? Tights and Han Asia asked curiously. Lin Chen shook his head and refused, no need, it'll just be strolling around, that's all. Bye-bye. After saying that, Lin Chen directly used instant transmission and disappeared in front of everyone. Like the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament, this time the preliminaries were held in the arena to determine the final 8 contestants. At this time, Goku and the others were changing into their martial art uniforms, preparing to start their matches. Look, this is a custom-made dress I specially ordered from the mortal world. I knew Master Roshi would not prepare it for us this time. Krillin said proudly while putting on a martial art uniform with the word turtle printed on it. So, everyone had the same thought, ah. Yamcha and Goku also took out their martial art uniform and put them on. They exercised their limbs, their eyes full of confidence. After 3 years of hard work on Lookout, almost everyone has made ample progress. They couldn't help it, because in addition to Kami, there is also an extraordinary expert on Lookout. Because of him, even Kaiotsu has improved a lot compared to the original work. Just then, Goku's expression suddenly froze as if sensing something, and he became completely vigilant. Not only him, but Tien Shinhan also looked solemn. Goku, do you feel it? Huh. A very powerful aura flashed past us just now. Krillin pointed at the strange man draped in a cloak in the distance, could it be him? No, that aura was much stronger than his. Goku said, it's weird, I can't feel it anymore. Just as Goku and the others were looking for the whereabouts of the aura, Lin Chen hid and covered his mouth. Lin Chen breathed a sigh of relief when he confirmed that Goku and the others were not looking for him anymore. These guys' perception towards Ki is really sharp. They almost discovered me. If there is no interference from outside, the few of them will most likely be competing against each other in the finals. Lin Chen smiled as he looked at Goku and the others in the distance, but it's a pity that this time the champion of the martial arts tournament has already been decided. It's going to be my contestant Mark. Soon everyone's attention was diverted because of Chi-Chi's appearance and her conflict with Goku. Taking this opportunity, Lin Chen called Mark out. Hey! Is it really true? Is there really a female contestant who wants my autograph? Mark crossed his arms as he followed behind Lin Chen. Yes, she is very shy, so she is hiding in the toilet. Lin Chen held back from smiling and said. This Mark's personality is really simple and is easily fooled. Soon, the two of them arrived in front of the toilet. Mark looked around and asked in confusion, huh? Where is she? Where's the beautiful contestant you mentioned? Whoosh! After a crack sound, Mark fell to the ground, with Lin Chen standing behind him with his palm turned into a knife shape. Lin Chen smiled, then bent down and grabbed Mark's shoulder. Now, I just have to stimulate his potential. Dr. Gero can have more than 900 power level when his potential was stimulated. So, this guy should be able to break through 1000, right? Then it should be easy for him to deal with Goku and others. While pondering, Lin Chen first used instant transmission and took Mark to an uninhabited wasteland, since when unlocking Mark's potential, it may be discovered by Goku and the others, so he must change the place first. After everything was ready, Lin Chen grabbed Mark, who had still not woken up yet, and directly used the unlock potential technique on him. A golden aura immediately emerged from Mark's body. However, to Lin Chen's surprise, the potential in contestant Mark's body turned out to be if **K. Who the hell is this guy? His potential is only this much. When Lin Chen was done using the unlock potential technique, he was surprised to find that Mark's power level had only increased to 50. The unlock potential technique that can stimulate the human Bodhi's potential and has outstanding effects only increased this guy's power level by dozens of points. **Tard. System, you fraud. 50 power level, how can he defeat Goku and the others with just this? That's it. Fortunately, I have another treasure. Then, he took out a tree of might's fruit. Although he is not lacking them now, it is still an extremely valuable treasure in the universe. So, he was really anguished on using it on a stranger. But in order to complete the mission, he can only do so. Lin Chen floated up Mark, who was still unconscious, and stuffed the fruit into his mouth. It's just that he didn't expect that, after stuffing a few bites of Tree of Might's fruit into Mark's mouth, he suddenly woke up by himself. Ah! Who are you? Mark stood up in alarm, and at the same time discovered the fruit's residue in his mouth. Damn it! Who sent you to poison me? Ah! Lin Chen was dumbfounded. I gave you something that only gods can enjoy, but you actually said it is poison. But it wasn't just these things that greatly surprised him. Mark suddenly lowered his head and spat out everything from his mouth. Not only that, he even squeezed his throat to induce vomiting, and spat out the pieces of fruit that he had just eaten. Seeing that his Tree of Might's fruit was wasted, the veins on Lin Chen's forehead bulged. This idiot! Do you know what you are doing? Immediately eat everything you spat out. Otherwise you will end up like this. Lin Chen raised an energy ball on his hand, flicked his hand, and threw it towards a boulder beside him. Boom! A mushroom cloud appeared not far away. Looking at the mushroom cloud, Mark's legs softened, his eyes rolled over and he passed out. Lin Chen covered his face, completely speechless. What should I do? His power level is only 50 after unlocking potential, and he spat out the Tree of Might's fruit fed to him. This Mark is simply hopeless. How can a guy like this win the championship? System, can I reselect the choice? Ding! Host has already confirmed the choice and cannot back out, otherwise he will be obliterated. Shit! Lin Chen couldn't help but curse. I have been ripped off really hard by this Mark. Is there no other way? Looking at Mark, who was unconscious, Lin Chen suddenly had an epiphany. Got it. Contestants, I've made you wait. The 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament preliminaries are about to start. Please gather in the middle. Hearing the voice of the staff on the speaker, all the contestants gathered one after another, and after the host introduced the rules of the tournament, the drawing of the lots began. At this time, the contestants who registered together with Mark were feeling troubled. How is it? Did you find Mark? No. That guy, he couldn't have escaped, right? Just when they were running around, Mark, who they were looking for everywhere but couldn't find, finally came back. Mark! Where have you been? If you didn't come for drawing lots, you would have been disqualified, you know. Mark touched his head and said with a confused expression, "Two seem to have been to hell just now, and a demon wanted to kill me with poison." His companion stared blankly for a moment before breaking out into laughter. Fortunately, at this time, the drawing of lots finally started, and they did not continue to laugh at Mark. During the lot drawing process, Goku and his group were not drawn to the same zone under Kaiotsu's manipulation, and Mark was also lucky to avoid Goku and others, replacing Kama's position. Humph. Fortunately, I know telekinesis, otherwise he would have been finished. Lin Chen, who was hiding on the roof, muttered inwardly. No one knew that Mark's lottery was actually manipulated. Soon, the matches in various zones were in full swing. After the training on Lookout, everyone easily reached the main tournament, and even Kaiotsu, who should have been eliminated, easily defeated his opponents and entered the final 8 smoothly. Then on to contestant Mark's match, because Lin Chen unlocked his potential, although he only has 50 power level, Mark's level had already greatly surpassed that of ordinary people. So, there was practically no one who was his match. Even Mark's teammates were a little surprised. Why does Mark, who is usually stupid, seem to have gotten so much powerful all of a sudden? Ha ha ha. It seems that I didn't dream, I really came back from hell. Look at my power. This is the power of rebirth from ashes after returning from hell. Hey, uncle, quickly come and fight. At this moment, a sharp voice sounded beside Mark. Yajirobe, dressed like a masked Superman, said impatiently. Hearing this, Mark snorted coldly, shouted at Yajirobe and rushed over. Yeah. This guy, he's just an ordinary person. Yajirobe was about to knock Mark off the arena, but suddenly found that his body couldn't move. The next moment, Mark's fist also approached him. Bang! Ha ha ha. Do you feel it? I call this hell punch. Mark shouted. You. Yajirobe tried hard to get his body to move, but there was nothing he could do. Immediately afterwards, a powerful force suddenly came over and Yajirobe immediately flew out of the arena. Wow! The people at the scene looked at Yajirobe who had flown out of the arena and exclaimed. The referee was stunned, and he took a long time to react before announcing, the winner is Mr. Mark from Satan City. Goku and the others were all surprised. I can't see, is this guy very powerful? That person just now, from his aura, it should be Yajirobe, right? I didn't expect this Mark to be able to defeat him. Just like this, the morning passed and the final 8 finally emerged. The top 8 were, Goku, Piccolo, Krillin, Yamcha, Chi-Chi, Mark, Tien Shinhan, Kaiotsu. Seeing this result, Lin Chen let out a long sigh of relief. Phew. Fortunately, my telekinesis works. Let's hope the next one, too, will go well. How can a guy with only 50 power level become champion? Lin Chen thought about it, and finally arrived at only one answer, that is cheating. It just so happened that Earth's Kami once gave Lin Chen a perfect demonstration. In the original work, in order to deal with the reborn Piccolo, Kami used magic to possess an Earthling, and then defeated the experts one after another and entered the semi-finals. Although Lin Chen doesn't know Kami's magic for the time being, he knows telekinesis. In order to achieve the legendary Super Saiyan 2 transformation, Lin Chen had to hone his mental power. Although his telekinesis was only a beginner-level telekinesis, in terms of strength, a group of guys with power level of less than 1000 were not his match at all. When Mark challenged Yajirobe before, it was Lin Chen who helped him from behind the scenes, allowing Mark, a trash with a power level of less than 50, to defeat Yajirobe, whose power level had already reached almost 200. The preliminaries are over, and the final 8's match table will be released soon. The first match, Krillin vs Piccolo. The second match, Goku vs Chi-Chi. The third match, Yamcha vs Tien Shinhan. The fourth match, Kaiotsu vs Mark. Soon, the first match began. As soon as the two came on stage, under the lead of the host, the atmosphere of the audience became extremely heated. Seeing that his opponent was a little baldy, Piccolo, who went by the alias Ma Jr., sneered, "Boy, get down and surrender, my target is Goku, you are not worthy of wasting my time." Krillin suppressed the bellyful of fire in his heart. Back then, he had died at the hands of the great demon King Piccolo's child. This confrontation with Piccolo can be said to be his revenge battle. I'm not what I used to be before. For the past 2 years, I've been fighting a monster. You're basically nothing at all in comparison. Monster? Hee, in front of me, what other monster can there be? Piccolo said with an amused look on his face. Under the arena, seeing that Krillin's opponent turned out to be the great demon King Piccolo, Bulma couldn't help but say, I wonder if Krillin will be fine. He will be fine. Turtle Hermit smiled confidently, I can feel that Krillin has undergone earth-shaking changes. I wonder how he has trained in the past few years. Really amazing. Really? At this moment, the host shouted loudly, the match starts. As soon the host's voice fell, Krillin in the arena instantly moved. His speed was so fast that the ordinary people in the audience couldn't see him at all, and even Piccolo failed to catch his tracks for a moment. How is this possible? Boom! Krillin raised his hand and sent Piccolo flying out of the arena. Piccolo, who had flown out, managed to stabilize in midair with great difficulty. Looking at the purple blood around his mouth, his eyes turned red. How is it possible? My opponent is Goku, how can I not even beat a weakling like him? In a fit of rage, Piccolo took off his cloak, and all the power he had intended to use when he challenged Goku surged out. Too weak. Lin Chen, who had returned to the audience seats, muttered. After Piccolo exploded with his full strength, his power level was only 350. But the power level of Krillin opposite him had already exceeded 400. Sure enough, although Piccolo's potential is very good, he lacks systematic guidance, and his potential has not been unlocked at all such that he can't even be compared to Krillin. Too weak. Goku and the others backstage also couldn't help but say this word. Too weak. Even Krillin in the arena couldn't help but say. What? Hearing Krillin's words, Piccolo's mouth twitched. Who would have thought that back then I couldn't even beat a subordinate of Great Demon King Piccolo? But, now I feel that you are too weak. Lookout's training was really amazing. And that Broly, he is even more of a monster. Krillin said with emotion. Lookout. Piccolo was stunned, and finally understood, so you guys went to Lookout for training. But so what? Piccolo. The Demon King who is going to rule this world. Whoosh! Just as Piccolo's voice fell, Krillin suddenly disappeared and before he could react, he punched Piccolo in the stomach. After one punch, Piccolo passed out and fell to the ground. What? Seeing this scene, the host who was about to start his commentary was stunned. In the audience seats, the audience who had been moved by Piccolo's words were also stunned. Hey, what did that guy just say his name was? Pringles. Piccolo. I don't know, this guy is too weak. I thought he was very powerful, but he lost so quickly. The audience was doubtful. At the same time, the host ran over and started the countdown for Piccolo who had fallen to the ground. Piccolo didn't get up even till it reached 0. The host then declared Krillin's victory. Ha! I won. Krillin jumped up happily, and hugged Goku and the others who had rushed to the arena. Turtle Hermit was relieved on seeing Krillin's changes, it seems that my era is really over. The medical staff soon arrived, put Piccolo on a stretcher and left. Lin Chen thought for a bit, and once again teleported to the backstage area. In the backstage area, Piccolo had already woken up. No doubt that he had lost the match, he naturally flew into rage. The current Piccolo has still not completely turned over a new leaf. Furious, he dietly wanted to destroy the entire venue. I don't care about any tournament anymore. Piccolo. I'm going to kill all humans. At this moment, a voice entered Piccolo's ears, Piccolo, why don't you admit defeat? At your current level, you are too far behind Goku and the others. Who? Piccolo was startled, he quickly turned around his head. But when he turned around his head, he saw no one. Just as Piccolo was stunned, a person's head suddenly emerged from the side, "I'm here." "What?" Piccolo turned around his head and looked at the human beside him in surprise. Just now, he couldn't keep up with this person's movements at all. "You, who the hell are you? If you want to become stronger, go to a place with me obediently." After saying that, Lin Chen grabbed Piccolo with one hand and used instant transmission in front of everyone. The medical staff at the scene did not understand what was going on from the beginning to the end, and how did they suddenly disappear. This place is haunted. Meanwhile, Lin Chen and Piccolo appeared on titanic Square. "Broly!" Lin Chen shouted. After a while, Broly appeared. "Brother Lynx." Lin Chen threw Piccolo in front of him. "Broly, from today onwards, let this guy train here. Watch him and don't let him escape." "Okay." "What? Isn't this Lookout? Why did you bring me here?" At this time, Piccolo finally recognized this place and turned to question Lin Chen, but Lin Chen ignored him and teleported to Kami and Popo. Looking at Kami, without waiting for him to question, Lin Chen smiled and said, "I know what you are going to ask. In fact, you have been attentively watching him for so long, you should have noticed that this Piccolo is different from the previous Piccolo. He is no longer a pure demon. With a little guidance, he may be able to turn over a new leaf." "But why did you bring him here?" Kami wondered. "Isn't Piccolo your counterpart? So, it's naturally your responsibility to guide him." "Well, I still have something to do, so I'll leave first." After saying that, Lin Chen was about to return to the mortal world. But he suddenly thought of something and stopped. "By the way, if Piccolo doesn't listen to you, call Broly over. When dealing with an arrogant guy like him, fists are the most convincing." Then, Lin Chen disappeared in front of Kami and Popo. Kami heaved a sigh and said to Popo, "Mr. Popo, what do you think I should do?" Popo said, "Kami, what Lin Chen is right. This Piccolo is indeed different from the great demon King Piccolo. Maybe you can really make him turn over a new leaf." "Okay, then I'll give it a try. After all, it's all because of my sins." Then, Kami walked towards Piccolo. And over there, at this moment, he could hear Piccolo's furious voice. "Damn it, who the hell are you? Why are you both so strong? I'll not take it lying down." When Lin Chen returned to the mortal world, the second match of the final 8 had long started. But Lin Chen had arrived just in time. Because when he returned, it was when Goku knocked Chi-Chi out of the arena and Chi-Chi was disclosing her identity. When Chi-Chi reveals that she has left home and told Goku that she was the little girl Goku met when he was looking for the 7 Dragon Balls, Goku finally remembered. "Ah. So it's you. When I was young, you said you wanted to give something to me and I'd like it. You finally remembered." Goku thought to himself in embarrassment, I thought wife was some delicious food at that time. Fine, let's get married." Immediately, cheers erupted out all around him. Lin Chen, who had returned, sighed as he watched Goku and Chi-Chi sprinkle dog food. He had seen this plot countless times, and he was already tired of it. But Tights and Han-Asia on the side were watching with great interest. Han-Asia also said to Lin Chen, "Lin Chen, Kakarot is going to marry an Earthling. I wonder if Bardock will agree." How could he disagree? And let me tell you, the mixed-blood child born from a Saiyan and human will have a higher power level than a pure-blood Saiyan. Really? Han-Asia was skeptical. "By the way, how did you know? Could it be that you and Tights have?" "I haven't." Tights shook her head in panic. Then the two of them glared at Lin Chen at the same time, so he could only laugh it perfunctorily. Then, Tien Shinhan and Yamcha were the next to fight. Both of them had trained on Lookout, and their strengths have grown by leaps and bounds just like Krillin. Unfortunately, in terms of foundation and talent, Tien Shinhan is much better than Yamcha, so in the end, it is no surprise that Tien Shinhan won. Then, it was time for Kaiotsu and Mark to fight. Yamcha looked envious when he saw Mark, who was laughing in the arena, posing in many karate poses and blowing kisses at the beauties in the audience. Alas, why is my opponent not him? Yamcha didn't know that when he was feeling that Kaiotsu is lucky. Yajirobe in the audience however thought, this little guy is so pitiful, he is unlucky to meet such a strong opponent. Huh, what a weak guy, let me deal with you in 2 or 3 moves. Kaiotsu looked at Mark, whose aura was weak and was about to use his mental powers to push Mark away. However, to his surprise, he discovered that his mental power was sealed. Ah! What's going on? Just when Kaiotsu was looking dazed, Mark rushed over quickly. An opportunity. Look at this technique. Dynamite kick. Mark did a flying kick, sending Kaiotsu flying, who then slammed into the wall. I actually lost. Kaiotsu let out a mournful cry and passed out. Seeing that Kaiotsu was practically defeated in seconds, Goku and Tien Shinhan were both shocked. They didn't expect Kaiotsu to lose. What made them even more puzzled was that they didn't even understand how Kaiotsu lost. Because Mark's kick just now was completely ordinary. Kaiotsu, wait, I will avenge you. Tien Shinhan clenched his fists. The semi-final was Goku vs Krillin and Tien Shinhan vs Mark. Soon the outcome of the fight between Goku and Krillin was decided, and then it was Tien Shinhan and Mark's turn to enter the arena. However, Tien Shinhan, who vowed to avenge Kaiotsu, was also instantly defeated by Mark not long after he entered the arena. Why? This guy's aura is so weak, why is he so strong? After getting defeated in an instant, Tien Shinhan was shocked. While Goku was fired up. Great! I thought that apart from Broly and brother Lin Chen, there are no other exciting opponents on Earth. It turns out that there are still many powerful experts in the world. Goku's eyes flashed with a bright light, and he hurriedly jumped onto the arena. Mr. Mark, let's start the finals quickly. Humph. Mark sneered and walked onto the arena. The referee on the side was about to announce the start of the match, but Mark shouted and stopped him, wait. Ah. Mr. Mark, is something the matter? Wait a minute. I've painstakingly prepared for today's final. Preparations. Just when everyone was wondering, Mark took out a hoi poi capsule and threw it to the ground in front of everyone's eyes. Boom! Everyone's eyes widened wanting to see what was in the capsule. Immediately afterwards, they saw that Mark had taken out 4 wooden planks. Mr. Mark, you are? Goku asked hesitatingly, but Mark immediately shouted, don't disturb me. Sorry. Mark held the 4 planks and his eyes suddenly widened, then he threw the planks into the sky. Oh, yeah. The 4 planks in mid-air were hit by Mark in succession before they fell to the ground, each of them broken in half. Ha ha ha. Did you see it? Goku, this will be your fate in a moment. Mark laughed and pointed to the planks on the ground. Perfect. My performance just now was simply impeccable. Although Mark himself thought so, the audience, including Goku and others, were absolutely silent. Because anyone with a discerning eye couldn't tell that compared to the previous shocking fights of Goku and the others, Mark's performance seems to be just a so-so. Is he serious? Kaiotsu, why did we lose to such a guy? Tien Shinhan, I also don't understand. In the backstage area, Krillin, Tien Shinhan and others who had already lost, were speechless. Even the sunglasses-wearing referee standing at the boundary of the arena couldn't help but say, Contestant Mark, you just now. What? Isn't my performance perfect? Mark turned his head and frowned. No, the referee's forehead broke out into beads of sweat. It's just that you saw contestant Goku's previous matches, there. Oh. Mark said disapprovingly, those are just special effects, they can't fool my eyes. Special effects? Huh. Goku was also stunned. When Mark saw this, he pointed at Goku and said, "How is it? Did I hit the mark? You pretentious guy, if you have guts, just fight me fair and square." "But I'm not acting pretentious," Goku said aggrievedly. "Stop talking nonsense. Referee, let's start the match," Mark said loudly. Oh. Hearing this, the referee had no choice but to shout, "Then, the final of the 23rd World Martial Art Tournament will begin now." Just as the referee's voice fell, Goku suddenly brought his hands together. "Mr. Mark, I will show you if I'm acting pretentious or not." Kamehameha. What? Why did Goku use this technique right at the start? Isn't he afraid of depleting his energy? Seeing Goku's choice, Krillin and the others were greatly surprised. It wasn't just them who were surprised, Lin Chen also didn't expect it at all. Because of what Mark said just now, Goku used Kamehameha right at the start. He didn't have the time to use telekinesis and could only helplessly watch Mark being swept away by Kamehameha. Boom! A mushroom cloud appeared in the arena. Heavens! Lin Chen couldn't help but cover his face and sigh. "Damn that Mark, why did you say those words just now?" With his power level of less than 50, being swept by Goku's Kamehameha, isn't that a sure death? My God! Who would have thought that the decisive battle of the World Martial Arts Tournament would begin with such a fierce opening? I wonder if contestant Mark was able to withstand the attack of contestant Goku? Withstanding it? I reckon he has already been torn to pieces. Lin Chen shook his head. However, at this moment, he suddenly heard the referee exclaim, "My God! Audience, can you see it? Contestant Mark is still standing tenaciously. He didn't fall. Amazing! Ah!" Lin Chen hurriedly raised his head and sure enough, Mark really didn't fall down. Although he seemed to have turned into a black man and his long flowing hair had turned into an afro, Mark was still standing tenaciously in the same place. How is that possible? Suddenly, Lin Chen thought of a possibility. Could it be because of the Tree of Might's fruit? This Mark has really escaped a calamity. Although Mark had spat out most of the Tree of Might's fruit, it is clear that he should have at least swallowed some juice. And it was precisely the juice of the Tree of Might's fruit that caused Mark's body toughness to become different from ordinary people, that he was able to survive under Goku's Kamehameha. This guy is a bit too lucky, right? Lin Chen couldn't help sighing. At this moment, he suddenly realized that Mark, whose hair had turned into an afro, looked a little familiar. Huh? Why does he look like? Mark, whose hair had turned into an afro, touched his body with a pain on his face while he kept taking deep cold breaths. Referee. This guy used a bomb, shouldn't he be disqualified? Boo, bomb. The referee didn't understand what Mark was talking about. Of course. He must have planted a bomb in the arena just now. Mark shouted. Sorry, Mr. Mark, but it is impossible. Bastard. Mark glared at Goku. Even if everyone is deceived by you, it can't fool my eyes. Goku, look at my counterattack next. Here I come. Rolling attack. Mark bent down and actually began to roll in the arena. Goku stared blankly at Mark, who was rolling over, not knowing what the technique was. A chance. Look at my move. This is my strongest miracle special ultra super megaton punch. This punch doesn't seem to be that powerful. Mark thought he had grasped an opportunity, but Goku was already in a stance to counter the punch. Just then, Lin Chen stared at him. An opportunity. Then, everyone at the scene saw Goku get sent flying into the sky like a piece of paper and fall outside the arena. Huh. But my punch didn't hit him yet. Seeing that Goku was sent flying, Mark blinked his eyes stupidly. But at this moment, the host, who had recovered his senses, raised the microphone and excitedly announced, "Unbelievable. Dear audience, contestant Goku has fallen out of the arena, so the champion of the martial arts tournament has been born. Let us warmly applaud and congratulate contestant Mark. Oh. Although they couldn't understand it, the audience immediately burst into fierce applause and cheers. Ding! In Lin Chen's ears, a system prompt finally sounded, "Congratulations host for completing the mission. Obtained reward, Kamehameha magic." Strange knowledge poured into Lin Chen's mind, causing him to be in a daze for a while, but soon, Lin Chen found that there was a lot of wonderful knowledge of magic in his mind. Such as mind reading, possession technique, magic materialization technique, and other wonderful magic. Although it may not necessarily improve his combat ability, they have many magical effects. Finally, I didn't waste my time for nothing. Lin Chen sighed inwardly. Cough, cough. At this moment, Mark's voice suddenly resounded in the arena. He took the microphone from the referee's hand and signaled everyone to be quiet. Everyone. Please don't call me Mark again. I just made a decision, starting today, I will change my name to Satan. I am the man who returned from hell. Satan. 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 Immediately after a brief moment of silence, cheers erupted out in the audience. Everyone shouted the new champion's name and clapped. Mark, who has changed his name to Satan, put his hands on his hips and laughed wildly in the arena. Wahahaha. Black lines appeared on Lin Chen's face. No wonder he thought Mark looked familiar. So, he is really that Satan. Mr. Satan, who kept cracking gags and accidentally took the credit of Goku and the others' work during the Cell games in the original work. No wonder this guy is so lucky. 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament finally came to an end, and the final result was unexpected to everyone. After the tournament, Goku, Turtle Hermit and others gathered together. Although Goku lost the match in his championship, his friends still came over to congratulate him. After all, the opponent this time was too unexpected. He doesn't seem very strong, but was actually terrifyingly powerful. He was really powerful, that Mark no, it should be Mr. Satan now. Goku scratched his head. Yeah, that guy is either pretending to be a wolf in sheep's clothing or he's actually more powerful than all of us. Tien Shinhan said with gritted teeth. I'm going to continue to train, and when I get stronger, they'll have a fight with Mr. Satan. Goku clenched his fists and made up his mind. Forget it, if you go look for him next time, he might die. At this moment, a voice suddenly sounded from behind Goku. He turned around, only to find that the person was Lin Chen. Ah. Brother Lin Chen. By the way, what do you mean by that? He has already obtained the reward, so Lin Chen did not hide it anymore and told the truth. When they learned that Mark's victory was all thanks to Lin Chen's help, everyone's eyes widened. What? So, Brother Lin Chen, you helped Mr. Satan? Goku suddenly understood something. I was surprised why that guy's aura was so weak, but he was still so powerful. Tien Shinhan gritted his teeth and said unwillingly. Tien Shinhan, this guy's superpower is much better than mine. Kaiotsu looked distressed as he didn't expect there to be such a big disparity when using the same superpower. Brother Lin Chen, you've gone too far this time. Why did you help an outsider defeat Goku and the others? Bulma said with hands on her hips, a little dissatisfied. This Lin Chen smiled embarrassedly, thinking of a reasonable explanation. I just didn't want them to get too arrogant, that's all. After all, when they fought against Great Demon King Piccolo, they had so much difficulty. But, look at them now, even Krillin can easily defeat Piccolo. If I didn't intervene, they would probably stop making progress because of arrogance. Krillin said speechlessly, Ah. Why are you calling me out specifically? Am I too weak? Ha ha ha. After everyone had a laugh, Goku changed back to a serious expression. Brother Lin Chen is right. Not to mention Brother Lin Chen, there are still many strong people in this world that we can't deal with. Either we keep making progress or fall behind, and I won't stop. Me too. Me too. Krillin, Tien, Yamcha and Kaiatsu echoed his words. Very well, in that case, I will point you to a new path, and then. Before Lin Chen could finish speaking, a voice suddenly interrupted him. Wait. Goku, don't forget we're getting married. He turned around and discovered that it was Chi-Chi. After hearing Chi-Chi's words, everyone remembered that Goku was about to get married. Lin Chen smiled and said, That's right, Goku, the world is vast, but marriage is the biggest thing. Let's talk about the training later. You should marry Chi-Chi first. Goku didn't understand for a while, and Turtle Hermit and the others also said, Yes, we almost forgot. Goku, Chi-Chi is a good child, you can't let her down. Let's have a grand wedding. Tights suddenly suggested. Her words immediately received the approval of many people. A few days later, a grand wedding was held on Mount Paozu. Although Goku's house was empty, Lin Chen lent him a hand and handled it. On the day of the wedding, it was naturally very lively. Goku's parents, Bardock and Jine, also arrived at Lin Chen's request. Lin Chen felt that now that Goku and others' futures were going to be very different, there was no need for Bardock and Jine to keep watching from behind the scenes. It was time for them to get acquainted with each other. When he heard that the two people who helped him during Great Demon King Piccolo's time were actually his parents, the eyes on Goku's always innocent-looking face turned red for the first time. You are my parents? Yes, Kakarot. We are your parents, my name is Bardock and she is your mother Jine. Dad. Mom. Goku hugged them tightly, and began to cry loudly for the first time in front of everyone. As Goku and his parents got acquainted with each other, Tien Shinhan and the others were also feeling very emotional. I've always wondered why Goku looked familiar when he grew up. It turns out that during Great Demon King Piccolo's time, we had seen that face. I didn't expect Goku to turn out to be an alien. Krillin was stunned. Huh? You didn't know? Yamcha asked in surprise. Krillin also said in surprise, Yamcha, you knew. Then why didn't you say it earlier? Didn't I tell you? The wedding was lively until the early hours of the morning. After that, time flew fast and half a year passed in the blink of an eye. At this time, the news that Chi-Chi was pregnant reached Lin Chen's ears. Hearing that Chi-Chi should be pregnant with the future son Gohan, Lin Chen knew that it was time for Goku and the others to leave. After the World Martial Arts Tournament ended, Lin Chen had promised to point Goku and the others to a new training path. In the past, Lin Chen adhered to the principle of not wanting to disturb everyone on Earth, and never interfered with Goku and others' training. But now, as the whole world has changed, Lin Chen's previous insistence was meaningless. Especially when Goku's eternal arch-rival Vegeta from the original work, now has power level exceeding 500,000. The disparity between Goku and him has grown very large. If this goes on, maybe in the future, Goku and the others will become dispensable. For the former Dragon Ball fan, this is definitely not interesting at all. Therefore, Lin Chen formulated a Z Warrior development plan by himself. However, because he did not want to delay the birth of son Gohan, Lin Chen did not implement this plan immediately, but waited until now. And now, it is finally time to implement the plan. After arranging for the pregnant Chi-Chi to settle down in West City and letting Tights and Bulma take care of her, Lin Chen brought Goku, who was free from worry, to Lookout. Krillin, Tien Shinhan, Yamcha and Kaiatsu were already waiting there. Also waiting on the side was Piccolo, who was wearing a cloak and had a cold look on his face. They were all gathered here by Lin Chen. Yo! Goku! Krillin, Tien Shinhan, Yamcha, Kaiatsu. Long time no see. Hey, is that Piccolo over there? He seems to have gotten stronger. Goku suddenly sat on Tien's surprise. Krillin laughed, yeah, I heard that this guy was brought to Lookout by Lin Chen after the martial arts tournament. It's only been less than a year, but this guy has improved rapidly. I don't feel too confident in winning if I fight him right now. At this moment, Lin Chen clapped his hands, gather up everyone. And Piccolo. Why are you standing so far away? Hearing Lin Chen's words, Piccolo didn't dare disobey and could only fly over. But he still kept a distance from Goku and the others. Brother Lin Chen, can you explain it now? What exactly is the new training path you mentioned? Goku was getting impatient. Lin Chen smiled and said, I gathered you all today because I want to take you to a new place for training. Everyone present, with the exception of Piccolo, have trained on Korin Tower and Kame's place. Although you are already very strong, I must tell you that outside Earth, there are countless people who are stronger than you. So, I plan to introduce you to North Kai's place for training. North Kai? Who is that? Hearing the unfamiliar name, Goku wondered. Lin Chen was about to explain when an old man's voice came, Mr. Lin Chen, let me explain. Then, Kami walked over and said with admiration on his face, North Kai-sama is a mighty god in charge of the entire North area. He has outstanding strength and is the most supreme god in the entire North area. Sorry to interrupt. Lin Chen interjected, Kami, you're actually wrong. In fact, there is Grand Kai above North Kai, Supreme Kai above Grand Kai, and there are also higher-level gods above Supreme Kai. Your knowledge is incomplete. What? Kame's green face turned red, so, there are more powerful gods. Cough, cough. He coughed and said, anyway, Mr. Lin Chen wants to bring you all to the place of such a mighty person. Then, is he powerful? Goku asked impatiently. At least, he is currently more powerful than you all. Lin Chen explained, the most important thing is that North Kai is proficient in a lot of unfathomable techniques and has training methods that are far more advanced than Earth. You can learn a lot of things when you go there. Really, then let's hurry up. Goku couldn't wait. To go to North Kai-sama's place, we must first obtain consent of the other world's King Yema, and if we want to go to the other world alive, we must rely on Kame's power. That's why I asked everyone to gather here today. Then, Lin Chen said to Kami, Kami, please. Okay, everyone, please put your hands on me. Everyone nodded and put their hands on Kami. After a while, Kame's thoughts moved and everyone disappeared from Lookout, and when they reappeared, they were already in the other world. The scenery of the other world was completely different from the living world. The surroundings were full of golden colors everywhere. When they looked up, they could only see a wide expanse of golden magical clouds. So this is the other world. Except for Piccolo, everyone shouted and looked surprised. Lin Chen has also come to this place for the first time, so he looked all around and also noted down this place's location, so that he could teleport over without relying on Kami in the future. In the past, because he didn't know the location of the other world, he couldn't get here even if he could use instant transmission. Now, it won't be so troublesome in the future. Soon after, with Kame's recommendation, everyone met the giant King Yema and were given permission to head for the Snake Way. However, when Lin Chen and the others were about to follow an ogre to Snake Way, King Yema suddenly glanced at Lin Chen and said in surprise, wait human. What's your name? Everyone stopped. Lin Chen looked up at King Yema and smiled, my name is Lin Chen, you can also call me Lynx. What's the matter, King Yema? Lynx, are you a Saiyan? Yes. Oh, King Yema frowned, then shook his head and said, it's nothing. Just get going, Snake Way is not easy to traverse. Yes. Saying that, Lin Chen and the others once again began to walk. When they all disappeared from King Yema's palace, an ogre asked curiously, King Yema, was there anything special about that human just now? King Yema said with a solemn expression, you don't know, I just saw this man's lifespan, he should have died more than 10 years ago. What? Is he a living dead? No, he is a living person. It's really strange, how did he escape his fate and live to this day? King Yema shook his head, puzzled. At this time, following the ogre, everyone bypassed the check-in station of the other world, quickly walked all the way and soon reached the entrance of Snake Way. It was a huge snake head with its mouth wide open, followed by golden clouds whose end could not be seen, and an endless zigzagging snake body floating above the golden clouds. Lin Chen stood on the snake's head and said to everyone, "Everyone, at the end of Snake Way is North Kai's planet. North Kai lives there and it is also your destination. There are dozens of senzu beans here, which can be used as food on the journey. You should eat them slowly, and if you run out, you can think of a way for yourself." Taking the senzu beans .twn by Lin Chen, Krillin asked in surprise, "Mr. Lin Chen, aren't you coming to North Kai's planet?" "No, of course I'm going. But it won't be with you," Lin Chen said. "Why?" "Because you guys are too slow, I don't have time to go with you." Lin Chen smiled and a powerful aura instantly erupted out from his body, then he turned around and flew towards the end of the Snake Way, turning into a black spot in the blink of an eye, and then disappearing. Leaving Goku and the others behind, Lin Chen flew straight towards North Kai's planet. In the original work, Goku with the power level of around 500 took almost half a year to walk the million-kilometer Snake Way, but for Lin Chen, the million-kilometer was only fleeting. Soon, he arrived near North Kai's planet. When Lin Chen landed on North Kai's planet, which has 10 times the gravity, North Kai, who looked similar to a cockroach, had his hands behind his back and was waiting. "Hello, King of Saiyans." North Kai looked at Lin Chen with a smile. Beside him, North Kai's pet gorilla Bubbles and Cricket Gregory also looked at Lin Chen curiously. "Hello, North Kai." Lin Chen smiled and said, "Being able to know who I am, it seems that you have been paying attention to me, North Kai." A light flashed through North Kai's sunglasses. "Of course, you are a popular person who led Saiyans to turn over a new leaf and defeated Frieden. I have been paying attention to you these days. By the way, tell me. What are you doing at my place? I know there is a group of people behind you who are coming here to train. But, what about you? I don't think I have anything to teach a legendary Super Saiyan." "No, I know you know a lot of magical techniques, North Kai. Can you teach them to me?" Time flies, and in the blink of an eye, another 2 years have passed. On this day, Saiyans on Planet Vegeta, no matter where they were before, all returned to Planet Vegeta. For the first time ever since the ban on entering the universe was lifted, nearly all the Saiyans were gathered on their home planet. And the reason they came back was to participate in the first Saiyan martial arts tournament which will be held on Planet Vegeta soon. Speaking of the origin of this martial arts tournament, it must be traced back to 2 years ago. After he was done with his training on North Kai's planet and returned to Planet Vegeta, Lin Chen received the suggestion from Bardock. Having watched Earth's World Martial Arts Tournament 3 times in a row, he felt that a similar tournament could be held on Planet Vegeta. The love for fighting is deeply etched into Saiyans' bones, and this kind of martial arts tournament just hits the soft spot of Saiyans, so it may cause a sensation on Planet Vegeta. So Bardock suggested that he hoped to hold the World Martial Arts Tournament on Planet Vegeta. One is to give all Saiyans a chance to vent. Second, it is also an inspection of Saiyans' current strength. On Lin Chen's side, since returning to Planet Vegeta, he has resumed his boring training and worked hard to reach higher levels. In order to kill time, he naturally gladly agreed to Bardock's suggestion. Finally, the two of them thought over it and decided on many rules for the tournament. For example, Planet Vegeta's World Martial Arts Tournament, if it is to be ever again held in the future, then the interval between each tournament would be 10 years. The rules of Earth's World Martial Arts Tournament were used as a reference to frame the rules. They cannot kill people. If they fall out of the arena or fall into a coma, they will lose. The only troublesome thing is the reward. Earth's martial arts tournament uses money as a reward, but Saiyans are not interested in money, so after discussing it, they finally decided to use Tree of Might's fruit as a reward. In addition, the winner will have a chance to challenge the current 3 Super Saiyans on Planet Vegeta. Originally, Lin Chen thought that it would be difficult to attract Saiyans to register for the tournament with this kind of reward. But he still underestimated the Saiyans' desire for a tournament like this. Even if there is no reward, just fighting alone is enough to attract Saiyans' interest. What's more, although the 3 Super Saiyans including Lin Chen will not participate in the tournament, the final ranking in the tournament can be regarded as a ranking of Saiyan strength. So when the news of the tournament was announced, in just a few days, more than half of Saiyans on the planet had registered, and those Saiyans who had gone out to perform missions were eager to find the registration place after returning. In the end, almost all adult Saiyans registered. Earth's World Martial Arts Tournament has only 100 or 200 people registering each time, while the scale of the martial arts tournament on Planet Vegeta has reached thousands of people. Because of this reason, it took a year just to prepare for the tournament alone. The preparations for the entire tournament were done by Bardock, who used everything he saw and heard on Earth on Planet Vegeta. They also contacted the people of the Trade Alliance and asked them to help build large-scale arenas on the planet. Each arena was also equipped with a high-power energy shield system. For this, quite a lot of the capital of Planet Vegeta was consumed. But no one objected to this, even King Vegeta and Paragus were very much in favor of this kind of tournament. And as the day of the tournament was approaching, the training craze on Planet Vegeta had almost reached the peak. During this period, there were a lot less Saiyans on Planet Vegeta who went out to carry out missions, and most of the Saiyans were gathered in large and small training facilities on the planet. Those families with a wealthy financial situation even directly purchased private training facilities for their own use. For example, King Vegeta. He purchased a gravity chamber with maximum adjustable 50x gravity, and used it for his son Vegeta to train. Finally, on the day when the martial arts tournament was about to begin, Tights teleported in front of Lin Chen. When Tights arrived, Lin Chen and Bardock were confirming the final details of the martial arts tournament. Seeing her arrive, he said, "You are here. You seems to be quite early." "Well, I didn't want to miss such an interesting thing. I'm going to use what happens today in my novel." Tights laughed. These days, although Tights would mainly stay on Earth, she also comes to Planet Vegeta to look for Lin Chen from time to time, so she knows that the martial arts tournament is going to be held on Planet Vegeta. Then let's go and have a look together. In a while, the battle royale will start. Lin Chen led Tights out of the palace. As soon as they went out, Tights felt the Saiyans aura on the planet. "Oh, it's so powerful. Although I've been here many times before, this is the first time I've felt so many powerful auras." "Well, although those people on Earth are very hardworking, you're right, they're still very weak compared to the rest of the universe." Lin Chen chuckled and led Tights to the tournament venue. This time, a total of 65 large-scale arenas have been set up on Planet Vegeta. Except for the largest arena that is the venue for the final round, the remaining 64 arenas were all for preliminaries. Drawing on the experience from Earth's World Martial Arts Tournament and combining it with the situation of Planet Vegeta, the tournament on Planet Vegeta, in the preliminaries, is using Battle Royale rules. Thousands of registered contestants will be divided into 64 groups and will compete in 64 primary arenas. Every contestant who lasts to the end in the arena will enter the final 64. Hearing this rule, Tights immediately became interested. "Wow! A battle royal? This is more exciting than Earth's martial arts tournament. Lin Chen, do you know? I heard that the World Martial Arts Tournament on Earth has been stopped because of funding issues. Each of the venues of the Battle Royale is 500 meters long and wide, which is much larger than the World Martial Arts Tournament. Considering that Saiyan can fly in the sky, and the battle may infinitely extend to the sky, an energy coil visible to the naked eye has also been added to the venue. According to the rules, if you leave the tournament space demarcated by the energy coil for more than 3 seconds, it will be regarded as a loss. Out of the arena and disqualified from the tournament. The 64 rounds of the first Planet Vegeta's martial arts tournament TNT is about to begin. The 64 rounds will be held at the same time on a total of 64 arenas. Only those who remain standing at the end will be eligible to participate in the final round. Saiyans don't like to waste time like Earthlings. Following the host's voice, the battle royale began immediately. On the 64 arenas, a flash of light erupted out at the same time. In every arena, people can be seen all over the sky, as well as a crowd flying outside the arena. Ha! With a loud shout, a golden light erupted out from Lin Chen's body. North Kai was sitting on a reclining chair as he leisurely watched Lin Chen transform into Super Saiyan and said in astonishment, "Is this Super Saiyan? His strength is really terrifying, no wonder he could even kill Frieza. TSK, this Lin Chen. With such strength, why does he still want to learn my Kaioken?" Just when North Kai was wondering, he heard Lin Chen suddenly shout. "Kaioken? What?" North Kai was greatly shocked. He saw a violent aura instantly soar into the sky, blowing up a huge whirlwind. The ground around Lin Chen instantly turned to powder and disappeared. It was as if a hurricane was blowing on the tiny North Kai's planet, blowing everything around into chaos. Wow! Lin Chen! That's enough. Quickly stop it, or my planet will be destroyed by you. Just as North Kai's voice fell, he saw that the storm had subsided, and Lin Chen, who was previously fine, fell to the ground with a loud bang and blood was oozing out from his body, which was truly frightening. "Sai! What are you doing? Look at you!" North Kai came to Lin Chen's side and looked at him lying on the ground. It was clearly Lin Chen who was seriously injured, but he was the one who was frightened. At this moment, North Kai suddenly heard Lin Chen's feeble voice, North Kai Senzu Bean. "What? Senzu Bean? You have Senzu Beans?" As North Kai lowered his head, sure enough, he saw that a bean was lying on the ground beside Lin Chen's hand. As North Kai, he naturally knew what Senzu Bean was, and immediately picked it up and stuffed it into Lin Chen's mouth. After a while, Lin Chen finally recovered. "Sai! I almost thought I was going to die." It was the first time that Lin Chen had come so close to death ever since he fused with the legendary Super Saiyan bloodline. Just now, Lin Chen tried to use Kaioken in Super Saiyan form for the first time. He had thought that, based on his previous research on Kaioken, when he used it in Super Saiyan state, at most, the Kaioken state would not last too long, but he never expected that it was not the case at all. Using Kaioken in Super Saiyan state is more than just increasing the burden on the body. Recalling the feeling just now, it was like being suffering a health debuff. Even a body as strong as the legendary Super Saiyan would have its HP be reduced to 0 instantly. He had only used Kaioken for a few seconds, but his whole body was on the verge of collapse and he hadn't eaten the Senzu Bean in time, he might have even died. Seeing that Lin Chen was fine, North Kai took out a cloth and wiped the sweat from his forehead, still having lingering fear. Although I don't know what happened, it is clear that Super Saiyan transformation has caused a great burden on the body. Coupled with Kaioken, this burden can no longer be supported by a human's body. In the future, these two moves can no longer be used at the same time. You had better remember that. Kai-sama, can you improve it? Lin Chen couldn't help asking. North Kai thought for a while before spreading out his hands and saying with a shake of his head, "There is nothing I can do, I'm not a Saiyan, I can't even understand your transformation, how can I think of a way?" Lin Chen, who was not reconciled, relied on Senzu Beans and tried it several times, and even tried it once in legendary Super Saiyan form, but apart from torturing himself, there was no progress. At this point, he has no choice but to recognize that Kaioken really can't be used in Super Saiyan form. After that, Lin Chen turned his attention to Spirit Bomb, another unique skill of North Kai. Unfortunately, this technique is also a bit special. According to North Kai, Spirit Bomb can only be used by people with a pure heart, and even North Kai himself could barely use it because he does not meet the requirements. And although Lin Chen cannot be considered evil, his thinking is complicated, which has nothing to do with pureness, so he has no hope for it. After Lin Chen heard it, he didn't believe it, so he asked North Kai to demonstrate it when he found a chance. After another month of pestering, Lin Chen could see that he had let North Kai demonstrate Spirit Bomb no less than 30 times in front of him by relying on those corny jokes he had read in his previous life, but he still hadn't triggered the beginner martial arts talent. So, he had no choice but to grudgingly admit that what North Kai said was apparently true, that Spirit Bomb was really not something he could grasp, even if he has a system. North Kai also felt somewhat regretful about it. It's just a pity for my Spirit Bomb. I thought if you could learn Kaioken in one day, maybe you can create miracle for Spirit Bomb. Seeing North Kai's regret for Spirit Bomb not seeing the limelight, Lin Chen smiled and said, "Kai-sama, there will be a few more people coming over, maybe someone among them can learn Spirit Bomb." North Kai waved his hand and didn't take it to heart, "I hope so." At this time, Lin Chen was also about to leave and said, "Kai-sama, thank you for your guidance during this period, you'll be leaving now." Well. Lin Chen, I hope you continue to lead the Saiyans on the right track in the future, instead of becoming the second Frieza. I will. After saying that, Lin Chen waved his hand and performed instant transmission. Seeing Lin Chen suddenly disappearing, North Kai was stunned for a moment. Was that Yardration's instant transmission? This guy Lin Chen is really a martial arts prodigy. After leaving North Kai's planet, Lin Chen did not return to the human world immediately, instead he arrived midway on the Snake Way. Below him, Goku and his group were still working their way up Snake Way. In the past 2 months, they had just traveled half of the Snake Way. Lin Chen looked below him, the corners of his mouth curling slightly before he landed in front of everyone. "Ha! Brother Lin Chen. Lin Chen. Why are you here?" Facing everyone, Lin Chen smiled faintly, "I'm done with my training, so I'm going back." Ah! Hearing that Lin Chen was already done with his training while they were still on the way, everyone felt disheartened. But at this moment, Lin Chen gave each of them a strangely shaped fruit. "Brother Lin Chen, what's this?" Goku asked curiously. "Tree of Might's fruit, your strength will soar after you eat it." Lin Chen replied lightly. "What?" Hearing this, they immediately swallowed the fruit. They were not afraid of getting tricked, because there is no need for it at all. To deal with them, Lin Chen doesn't even need a finger. After finishing the fruit in 2 or 3 bites, everyone immediately felt a huge change happening in their body as abundant energy appeared in their body. After just a few seconds, everyone felt that their strength had increased by several times. But it wasn't over yet. Immediately, Lin Chen used the unlock potential technique on them one by one. In a single operation, even Kaiotsu with the worst strength, has his power level surpass 15,000. They were at a completely different level from their past selves. He heavens! Such powerful strength. Even Piccolo, who never smiles, couldn't help but reveal a smile on his face. However, he also suddenly realized a problem and asked, "Lin Chen, why are you helping us improve our power level?" "Because I think you are too weak." Lin Chen told them straight to their face, "Don't think that you are invincible. If your current level was compared with the people of Planet Vegeta, you are at the level of low-class warriors. That's all I can help you with. Hurry up and go to North Kai's planet to improve and stabilize your strength. If you can't keep up with the pace of the times, you will eventually be eliminated by the times." After saying that, Lin Chen disappeared in front of everyone. Wow! It's really different from Earth, the level is too high. In mid-air, Tights was looking down at the arena under her feet with a look of excitement. Because the number of Saiyans who were participating in the Battle Royale was nearly more than half of the population on the planet, it was even more than the audience. Therefore, there are no spectator seats for the Battle Royale, and those who did not participate in the tournament like tights were floating in the sky to watch the tournament. While watching the matches, Lin Chen nodded to Bardock, King Vegeta and others who were accompanying him and said, "I haven't asked for a long time, it seems that our Saiyans level has gotten much higher than before." King Vegeta smiled and said, "Your Majesty, this is also the result of your years of hard work. Since you introduced the gravity training method as well as the teaching material of Ki Sense a few years ago, Planet Vegeta is now full of talents, especially in younger generation. There are a lot of outstanding talents emerging." Hanasia smiled and said, "King Vegeta, you aren't praising your son Vegeta again, are you?" "Ha ha ha." King Vegeta said a little proudly, "I don't dare to praise him, but this kid is a bit capable. I heard him boast that this time his goal is to become the champion. I wonder if he can achieve it." "Champion?" That kid spoke such big words. Hearing this, Hanasia swept her eyes towards the arenas below, and soon found Vegeta. "I want to see what ability he has to say this." Lin Chen, who was listening on the side, also turned his attention to Vegeta. He was also very interested in the forever number 2 protagonist of Dragon Ball. Oh. His power level as expected of Vegeta. In the second arena, Vegeta, who has already grown up, was standing proudly in the center of the arena with his arms crossed while hundreds of Saiyans were surrounding him. It seemed that they wanted to gang up on Vegeta. Seeing that they wanted to gang up on him, Vegeta didn't show any signs of fear, instead he snorted coldly. "Want to gang up on? Then hurry up and attack. A bunch of trash." Hearing Vegeta's words, the other Saiyans were not reconciled. "Damn it. Vegeta, this guy is acting like a pretentious prick again. This guy always likes to pretend. I can't stand it. Let's go. Beat him up together, there are so many of us, there is no reason to lose to him." Immediately after someone took the lead, the remaining Saiyans' aura erupted out and they also rushed towards Vegeta. However, Vegeta thought nothing of them and sneered. He clenched his fists and a terrifying aura erupted out from him which instantly exploded throughout the arena. Boom! The terrifying aura explosion sent the group of Saiyans who were surrounding him and wanted to rush over flying out of the arena. Some people fell on the ground and were disqualified while some were able to control themselves in time and went back into the arena. Because some people were sent flying too far away outside the energy coil, they didn't have enough time to return and were thus disqualified. In short, after one move, only a few dozen people remained in the second arena without being eliminated. But he could eliminate most of the people with just the eruption of his aura. Vegeta indeed has the capital to be proud of. Beep. When Lin Chen saw the reading displayed by the scouter, he couldn't help but ask, 530,000 power level. "King Vegeta, you must have given Vegeta a lot of Tree of Might's fruit that were rewarded to you, right?" Kaidan Vegeta smiled embarrassedly, "Your Majesty, I'm not like Bardock. I can reach this level with my aptitude, it's already the limit. Vegeta's talent far exceeds mine." Lin Chen waved his hand and interrupted him, "Don't worry, it's up to you who you give the Tree of Might's fruit which were awarded to you. However, Tree of Might's fruits shouldn't be of much use anymore to the current Vegeta. He will have to rely on his own hard work from now on." "Yes. Your Majesty is right." King Vegeta nodded. With a power level of 530,000, among the contestants who registered, it is already the best. Among the rest of the people with power level exceeding 500,000, there were also many just like King Vegeta who chose to not participate in the tournament. Many of these Saiyans with power level exceeding 500,000 were people whose power level was forcibly raised by Lin Chen in order to complete his system mission. Because they made their breakthroughs early on, these people are considered to have high status on Planet Vegeta. First of all, they did not want to bully the youngsters, and secondly, they were afraid of losing face in the tournament, so most of them chose to give up on the tournament. And only a few chose to participate in the tournament. They were all Vegeta's opponents on his path to the championship. Looking at Vegeta, whose power level far exceeds compared to in the original work, Lin Chen couldn't help but think of Goku still on Earth. He heard from Tights that they have returned from North Kai's place. They trained on North Kai's planet for more than a year. I wonder how strong Goku and the others have become. The match is over, go down. Vegeta snorted, and then, no longer wasting time, he took the initiative to attack and knocked all the rest of them out of the arena. The match in the second arena is over, winner, Vegeta. When he heard the result announced by the referee, Vegeta snorted again. None of them can fight properly. Sure enough, I shouldn't have any hope for a worthy opponent in the preliminaries. Vegeta was about to leave the arena when he suddenly sensed a familiar aura from the side. In the third arena, he saw a long-haired Saiyan, who was being besieged by a group of Saiyans, scurrying around in the arena in an extremely sorry situation. Raditz! Vegeta yelled. Raditz, who was running away, turned around and waved to Vegeta, Lord Vegeta. What are you doing? Get rid of them quickly. Vegeta frowned. Lord Vegeta, I want to hurry too. But these guys are targeting me. Raditz yelled. Then deal with them at the same time. You are following me, how can you not even make it to the final round? After saying that, Vegeta turned around and just walked away. Ah! Damn it! It's all your fault, I again made Lord Vegeta angry. Raditz shouted loudly and stopped. No longer running, he took the initiative to counterattack the Saiyans who were chasing him. During the hand-to-hand combat, people kept getting beaten up by Raditz and fell off the arena, or fell to the ground. But Raditz wasn't feeling at ease either. He wasn't as strong as Vegeta, and under the siege of others, he was continuously being hit hard, and he could only move while fighting. His battle also caught Lin Chen's eyes, making him surprised. 360,000 power level Bardock, did you also give the Tree of Might's fruit to Raditz? Bardock shook his head and said, no. It is thanks to Vegeta that Raditz is where he is today. Lin Chen was stunned for a moment, then understood. He knew that Bardock's son Raditz had been playing with Vegeta since he was a child, because unlike in the original work, Vegeta's lackey Nappa died early during the Tul's rebellion, so Bardock's eldest son Raditz has been following by Vegeta's side. Speaking of which, Raditz actually has outstanding talent. It was set up in the original work that Raditz's talent is of an upper-level warrior. But because he was too lazy, his power level has always been so low. Now he is following Vegeta, and he is often used as a sparring partner by Vegeta. With such training added with Saiyan's traits where they become stronger after being seriously injured and on the verge of dying, his power level has surpassed 300,000. Although the contestants in the tournament were limited to the people of Planet Vegeta, there were still some unexpected contestants. When Lin Chen and the others were watching the various arenas from the sky, a commotion suddenly occurred in one of the arena below. Near the 52nd arena, they saw many Saiyans surrounding the tournament staff and shouting something. Bardock, what's going on over there? Lin Chen asked. Bardock glanced over, but he also didn't know what was going on. Seeing this, Lin Chen simply led Bardock and the group down towards the 52nd arena. What's going on here? Why are you quarreling? Seeing that Lin Chen was here, the Saiyans who were excited and red-faced just now, immediately lowered their heads, knelt down on one knee in front of Lin Chen and shouted, Your Majesty Lynx. Get up, what happened? What were you quarreling about? A Saiyan said immediately, Your Majesty, we feel that the match just now was unfair. We cannot agree with such a result. Unfair? Lin Chen frowned and turned to look at the staff beside him. Is the match in the 52nd arena over? Yes, Your Majesty. The winner of 52nd arena is Dr. Gero's Alien Android 7. Alien Android? Lin Chen was stunned for a moment before he turned to look towards the arena. It was only then that he realized that the person standing on 52nd arena was not a Saiyan, but a purple-skinned, frog-mouthed alien. Isn't that guy Chui from Frieza Force? How did he become an android? Wait a minute. Lin Chen immediately discovered that he indeed couldn't sense the aura of a living person from Chui. Is he really an android? Your Majesty. Look, that guy is not a Saiyan. That's right, he's not even an alien, he's just an android. Androids shouldn't be allowed to participate in the martial arts tournament. A group of contestants, who were in the 52nd arena, shouted. However, Lin Chen ignored them, and instead asked Bardock about Dr. Gero's whereabouts. After a while, Dr. Gero in an anti-gravity suit came over. Your Majesty Lynx. Dr. Gero, is that your new android? Lin Chen asked, pointing to Chui in the arena. Yes, Your Majesty. This is the first alien android 7 I've developed. Compared with the previous ones that failed, 7 is the first alien android with actual combat capability. I wanted to test its performance, so I let it register. Dr. Gero said with a look of panic. I see. In fact, ever since he arrived on Planet Vegeta, Dr. Gero has rapidly made achievements. His alien android 1 is the first all-metal android successfully produced by Dr. Gero after he came to Planet Vegeta. Alien Android 1 is an android made completely without any base, and its combat capability can reach up to 100,000 power level. And because human's body is not used for modification, it can be mass-produced according to the blueprint. Therefore, after the birth of Alien Android 1, it was quickly mass-produced by Saiyans and renamed as Artificial Cyberman. As a substitute for Cybermen who could not keep up with the times, it is now being widely used and has been well received by many people. Due to the success of the Artificial Cyberman, the restrictions on Dr. Gero were also relaxed, and the research on Alien Android that he had always wanted to carry out was finally approved. However, as far as Lin Chen knows, the 5 alien androids made by Dr. Gero before were not successful and were soon destroyed, probably because they were aliens and their body structures were different from the human bodies Dr. Gero was familiar with. Unexpectedly, the 7th one turned out to be a success. How much is his power level? Lin Chen asked. Dr. Gero said proudly, Your Majesty, the power level of Alien Android 7, after calculation, can reach a maximum of 600,000. 600,000. Suddenly, loud gasps were heard from the surroundings. 600,000 power level, even on Planet Vegeta, can already be considered peak power level. Such a top-notch warrior, who would have thought that it is transformed by a human through scientific means? Your Majesty. It's not fair. Please disqualify this alien android. One Saiyan yelled immediately. His words also echoed with many people. But Lin Chen shook his head. Why? Bardock, let me ask you, are there any restrictions to register for the martial arts tournament? No, in fact, as long as people registered for the tournament, we accepted them, Bardock said. Lin Chen nodded, then looked at those people and said, Did you hear that? Since the rules do not prohibit it, there is no dauntlem for Dr. Gero's alien android to participate in the tournament. If you are not convinced, beat him in the arena. Now that you lost to the opponent, you want to ask the referee to disqualify the opponent. Don't you feel ashamed for that? Lin Chen's words made them lower their heads. Seeing that Lin Chen had spoken, the matter of Alien Android 7 qualifying for the final round was settled. Although some among the eliminated contestants were unwilling, they had no choice but to accept it. However, after Lin Chen left, Bardock asked him, Your Majesty, in just 2 years, Dr. Gero's alien android already has 600,000 power level. Do you think he will create an alien android that can match the power of Super Saiyan in the future? Probably. Bardock was startled. What? What? Are you scared? Lin Chen turned around to look at Bardock. The corners of his mouth rose as he said, Bardock, Dr. Gero's androids may indeed be a threat in the future, but in turn, you can also use it as a driving force for us to continue to get stronger. Remember, Dr. Gero's android will not be a threat to us as long as Saiyans keep getting stronger. Your Majesty is right. Bardock nodded. Time slowly passed, and when noon approached, the top 64 of the tournament were finally decided. Most of the contestants who reached top 64 weren't unexpected, they were all famous experts on the planet. It also includes Vegeta and Raditz, the two names that Lin Chen was most familiar with. And the biggest dark horse among them, which attracted the hostility from Saiyans of almost the entire planet, was none other than Dr. Gero's alien android 7. When other people in the arena knew that an alien android actually qualified from the 52nd arena, those Saiyans who were eliminated suddenly became the object of ridicule.